Jesus Christ is near.
I thought number one would surely be me, and I thought I could be what I wanted to be,
and I thought of myself as a mighty big man. But I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Thank you, Jesus.
Can't even walk without you
you holding my hand. Can't walk without you. Can't walk without you, Lord. I can't walk without you, Lord. Can't walk without you, Lord.
Thank God I've made Jesus my all in all. From now on his name, I'm surely gonna call.
And if I don't trust him, I'd be less than a woman. No, I can't even walk without you holding my hand.
Not one step, no, I can't even walk without you holding my hand. The mountain is too high, and the valley is too wide. Down on my knees, I learn to stand. No, I can't even walk without you holding my hand.
Can't even walk without you holding my hand. The mountain's too high,
And the valley's too wide. Down on my knees, I learned to stand. Can't even walk without you holding my hand.
Can't walk without you. Can't walk without you, Lord.
You walk without you. You walk without you, Lord. You walk without you. You walk without you, Lord. You walk without you. You walk without you, Lord. You walk without you. You walk without you, Lord. We can't walk. We can't walk without you, Lord. Without you, Lord. You walk without you. You walk without you. You walk without you, Lord. You walk without you, Lord. You walk without you.
What a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs will bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. To thy friend, despite forsaking me, take it to the Lord in prayer. In his arms he'll take and shield me down. We'll find us I must have the Savior with me, for I not walk alone. I must be His presence near me, and His arms
tonight I just need someone to call and let me know if you are hearing us via 91.9. If you're hearing me right now via 91.9, give me a call, 440-7377. Or if we are not on, let me know as well. If you're hearing me, or if you're not hearing me, give me a call. Well, if you're not hearing me, you ain't gonna know what I'm saying. So anyway, but if you're hearing me, give me a call now. That's for those of you listening via 91.9, 91.5.
Then my soul shall let him lead me where we will. I will go without a murmur, and his footsteps follows me. Oh, when I come to the end of my journey.
And we see, oh boy. Yeah, it looks like everything is giving a problem tonight. Let's see again. Yeah. Hello? Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get it now. Hello, good night.
Yeah, Senator Scott, you're on the WhatsApp. You're on.
No, but I was trying to find out if I'm on 91.9. Yeah, so that's
Okay,
what I'm
then.
trying to get. I know I'm on YouTube and Facebook. I'm just trying to make sure I'm on that. So let me check.
All right.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. And let me try this one. Hello, good night.
I hear you on 95.
You're not hearing me there?
No, not hearing you on that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, let me see what else I can do here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let me try. Yeah, let me see here. Hello, good night.
Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. You hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. You're hearing us on 91.9?
I'm hearing you on the YouTube.
No, not the new. No, I am on online. I'm trying to find out if I'm on 91.9, 91.5. That's the one I'm interested in.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, all right, great, thanks. Yeah, I know I'm on the YouTube. I just want to find out if I'm on 91.9, 91.5, because I know a lot of you, the people out there in St. Patrick, they look forward to that program on a Monday night. Just want to make sure that we connect with them. There was a problem on our end. It's not a problem with Real FM. It's a problem on our end with our software. On this end, there was an update over the weekend, and it did affect the software. Yeah, it did affect it. Over the weekend, there was an update. Let me see this person on the WhatsApp if they are getting us. Let me see if I get them. And let me see. Hello, good night. Hello, good night.
Yes, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Yeah, I'm calling from Grand and South Central. I'm hearing you loud and clear.
But you're hearing me on what? On YouTube, Facebook? No. I'm trying to find out from the radio station. Yeah. All right. But thank you very much. All right. Great. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. Let me try again. Hello. Good night. Hello. Oh, sorry. Hello.
Sheldon,
Yeah.
I hear you, man.
No, I'm trying to find out if I'm being heard on 91.9 or 91.5. I know I'm being heard everywhere else.
All right.
That's where I'm trying to find out.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Great. Thanks.
All right. Go.
Yeah, I know I'm being heard otherwise. Yes, so let me say again, those of people who usually listen to the radio, not online, not the internet, those of you that listen via the radio on 91.9, 91.5, I am trying to find out if you all are hearing me via that frequency. Yeah, via the radio, right? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out right now. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night.
Night. No, you hear not on the radio. It's only music we play on the radio. from the radio station itself. Not from
Okay, that's due to a fault on our end. It probably automatically went to their playlist.
And I can't have something done. So
Okay.
Could
Yeah,
get
we-
on YouTube.
We may just have to go with the YouTube for tonight. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Thank you so very much. All right.
Right? There you go.
Yes, folks. So in the next 5 minutes, we're going to start because we're going to just have to go via the YouTube and the Facebook alone for tonight. Yeah. So we confirmed it's not on 91.9, 91.5. Again, it is due to no fault of 91.9, 91.5. It is on our end, our computers, all of them updated. In fact, you're only seeing me on video now because, the technical guy was able to deal with that quickly. But the one with the radio took a little longer. So, because they updated it, threw off the software totally, yeah?
And the shadow fades away. Oh, when the day is done. When the day is done. And the shadow fades away. Oh, when the day is done. When the day is done. And the shadow fades away. That you, thou great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land. Lord, when the day is done, when the day is done, oh, when the shadow fades away. Oh, when the day is done, when the day is done, oh, and the shadow fades away. Oh, when the day is done, when the day is done, and the shadow fades away. Oh, God, you, thou great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land.
All right, so let's get cracking. We're saying a special good night to all of you listening via the various radio stations. Since we are this late tonight, I'm not going to go over all the names tonight. Just going to call out, of course, Zayla. 8:22. Zayla, time to go and take a nice look at rest. Right, Zayla? Nice. Right. Zoe, good night to you. Rest time. And of course, Zelia, good night to you. All right. You all have a nice night, my children. All you go and take a nice look like Deshaun. Go and take your rest. All right. Nice. And Neela and Namara, both of you, nice. Rest time. Okay, children? Okay. But so I've confirmed we're not on 91.9, 91.5. We'll have to just go ahead with it for tonight. We have a call online. Good night.
I near 95 and 90 and
Yeah, we've there's a problem from our end, not from the radio station, but from our end. There has been a problem, so there's nothing we'll be able to do at this stage, so we just have to go with it as is. All right? No problem. But thank you for your call. All right.
Okay.
You have to join us on YouTube. Nice. Join us on YouTube or Facebook. You'll have to join us there. Hello, good night. Okay, we lost that one. You'll have to join us on YouTube or Facebook. Yeah, folks. And again, it's, computers already. So all of them, they updated over the weekend and it threw off, it changed the settings from all our programs that we use to be able to broadcast. It changed the settings of everything. Yes, so when I got in tonight and I booted the system, nothing was working. So that's why for the last half hour basically or more, been struggling to try and get everything back up and running. So we're okay online, but when it comes to the radio stations, we are not there tonight. All right. Yes, and today the 20th day of November. And budget day coming up very soon. You understand? Budget day coming up and thing,
Thou great Jehovah, pilgrim through this barren land.
Only make sure, come, tell a friend to tell a friend. Those of you that know the people who usually listen via 91.9, 91.5, all you gotta tell them, listen, the thing Coconias tonight, you had to come online tonight and listen to the program, These things happen from time to time. There's hardly anything we can do to mitigate against them. And I'd like to thank those of you that have helped us to organize so that when we restart in the new year, we will be nice and clear. I'm aware that many of you are not hearing me on radio. Again, yes, we are aware that you all are not hearing us on radio. But nice, good. Yeah.
The shadow fades away. Hey, preacher man, do not bother carry. Do not bother carry your soul. Cause if you preach like Paul.
No, I was looking over the weekend and I was surprised at something. I didn't realize that you could have just go and build on people's property without their permission and that kind of thing. I didn't realize you could have do that. So over the weekend, I saw a post on Facebook that referenced a situation in the Mount Gay area where a bus shed was being built, apparently by government. A bus shed was being built in that Mount Gay area. And people passed on Saturday, it seems. Everything was all well and okay. And by Sunday morning, the bus shed was fenced in. Yeah, the bus shed itself was fenced in by Monday morning. So I wonder, well, not Monday morning, Sunday morning, like overnight. Some pole just appeared, thing fencing, and I wondering, but what going on? Yeah, what going on with this thing? So I said, well, no, let me try and dig a little bigger, find out a little more what it is going on with this thing. Because I see it and I'm going to pull the pictures up for you. Yeah, I'm going to pull the pictures up for you to let you see what I'm talking about in the Mount Gay area. Yeah, that people just go in people's property now and do things. So I didn't realize that is what has take place in the place, right? So I saw, and let me just get it up here for you. Yeah, let me just get it up here for you. Everything changed on the system. So it's taking me a little longer to do everything. Yeah, a little longer to get everything done tonight. Yeah, so I'm good to go there now. Let me just get this up here. Nice. Yeah, so I'm wondering about what taking place. Only to hear that apparently MPs under the NDC administration have a new type of power. They seem to have the powers to just decide that they're going to build in people's property without their permission. So they went and they built and were in the process of building a bus shed. They were spoken to. They were spoken to by the owner of the bus shed, the property where the bus shed was being put. They were spoken to. But again, it's run again. Yeah, you run again. Yes, run again. You understand? So they're listening. And I'm going to show it to you in a short. I will be showing it to you in a very short while. Yeah, let me just pull this up here now. Get rid of this. Nice. And where is it? Right. Yeah. Everything has been thrown off a bit tonight. Yeah. So now you see what I'm speaking about. Yeah. So it seems as though this bus shed was being built in the Mount Gay area. The contractors were spoken to by the owner of that property. They said, hey, you have not gotten permission and you are constructing that bus shed on our property. They said, well, the MP for the area, who happens to be Honorable Ron Redhead, tell them, don't bother with them, go ahead and build it there. Yeah, don't bother with them. I ain't going to say what else they say, but they say don't bother with them. Just go ahead and build the bus shed there. So they proceeded to construct the bus shed. Yeah, they proceeded to construct the bus shed without the permission of the owners of the property. So the owners of the property had to take what action they had to take. So they make sure and they fenced in the particular area. Yeah, they fenced in the area because if you're calling the MP that tell them, watch, go ahead and build it, and the MP say just go ahead and build it because the MP maybe own the area. Now, I don't know if they think that MP carries some other kind of meaning so that they in charge of everything and they own everything, so that the entire area was fenced off. Yeah? The entire area was fenced off, as you can see, including the area where the bus shed was being built illegally on somebody else's land. And the people told them, they said, listen, this is our property. You do not have permission to build there. You did not speak to me in relation to this. Why are you proceeding to build there? But they big and they bad, so they had to answer to nobody, so they go ahead and they build a bus shed. Yeah? They went ahead and they built a bus shed. Now there's something else I want to show you. I want to show you, let me see if I can pull it up here. I want to show you something else here. Because the individuals, they have the deed and everything that shows that it's their property. So they ain't just telling people it's their property, you know. They have their documentation to prove that the property belongs to them. So you just go and you're building on the people's property. When they're trying to reach you for several weeks now, over a month, they've been trying to reach the MP. But like the constituents in the constituency, they have been unable to find that MP. I don't know if he on plane, if he on boat, if he on a train somewhere in Eurasia or some kind of thing, or if he in Dubai, because you know they like Dubai. So you don't know. But the people have their documentation to prove that the property is theirs. They have their documentation. Why is it that any Grenadian should have to go to this length? They have to put up a sign. They have to actually go and get a sign printed and put up a sign. With the same thing I was just showing you there. Yeah? They actually had to go and get the plan and put it up to show. Yeah? Because people just decide you're going and build on the people's property. That's the kind of thing. What kind of I don't know what kind of mawet is that. The property is not government's property. If government believes that they need that property and the property is for national development, it's for something that's going to benefit the Grenadian people, government can go through the process as they have done recently when it comes to the lands on Grand Anse Beach, where they have officially taken over that property. They can take over the property there. They can decide that they're taking over that property in Mount Gay. But there's a process. Yeah? There's a process that has to be gone through, a legal process that has to be gone through. And that legal process has not been gone through. Neither did they ask the owners of that property for permission to go ahead and do what they're doing there. I mean, it's just plain madness. Straight as day. Had to be madness. So you go and you're building on the people's property. The people tell you, hey, don't build there. That is my property. You say, ignore them. That's what I tell the contractor, you know. Ignore them. Go ahead and build. So, yes, you're in government. You is Mr. Minister. So, go ahead and build. Just ignore them, man. Go ahead and build. So, you tell the contractor, go ahead and build. Because you is Mr. MP, you is Mr. Minister. So, the contractor continues building. The individual goes as far, the owners go as far as to contact the boss himself. They go to the top. Yeah? Nobody say stop the thing. You're trying to find the MP to talk to the MP. You can't find the MP to have a word with him in relation to this issue over a month. Over a month. Trying to call, trying to reach the MP over a month, and you can't find the MP. And if a person like that cannot find the MP, I could imagine for the average constituent in St. George Northeast. If you're trying for over a month and you're phoning and you're calling and you can't find the MP, yeah, then I ain't lying. Something definitely had to be Very, very wrong, because the people end up having to not only fence off their property, but they have to put up their deed for the property to prove to you that that property is theirs. So what are they going to do next? Go and cut down the fence and just continue going ahead and building the bus shed? Wouldn't it not have been easier to do the decent thing and contact the owners? First of all, research who owned the property before you just go and start to build there. Because this is not the only instance of this happening under this government. There are other instances of a similar nature, where ministers within this government just go and put in thing on people land. Just clearing out space and say they put in bus shed here or they put in thing there. This is not the only instance. This one is glaring, because that owner make sure and show them who is owner and who is boss. They put up the pole, they put up the fence, and they put up the sign. Yeah? Go behind the fence now. Go behind the fence and see what's going on. Yeah? But it says a lot about the mindset of this administration. It says a lot about the mindset of this administration, that they can think that they can do something like that and it's okay. It says a lot about their mindset. Yeah? So who next? They're going to come in your property and decide that they're going and just take it? They're going to come on your property and just decide, well, hey, that look like a nice spot for a bus shed, or that look like a nice spot for a community center, and just start to build? That's how we operating in this country right now. We back in the days of the revo. At least the revo still used to compensate people. At least the revo would have still speak to you before they go and they take your thing. At least there was some level of fairness. So you're telling me what is taking place there now is even worse than some of what the revolution was accused of? That you just take people property and decide you're doing what you want to do with it because you have a particular perception within your mind of the individual or individuals that own that property. Because you have that particular perception within your mind of the individuals, you think that you could just do them whatever you want? Not because somebody is a parliamentary representative, not because somebody is a sitting government minister, means that they are above the law. Not because they are a sitting parliamentary representative and government minister, at least minister for now. Do they, I know I said, that they think they can do what they want. That is madness. You can't do that. But is the right one all you go and interfere with? Yeah? Is the right one all you go and interfere with? And again, folks, this is not the first instance of this. There are other instances that people can point out of the same and similar taking place around the island, where MPs just say, go and put that there. They ain't go in lands to find out, well, who that property belong to. They ain't go to legal affairs and say, well, okay, we would like to obtain this 12 feet by 50 feet or whatever because we want to put a bus stop there or whatever. They haven't gone to lands and say, well, okay, we want to get that. Let me find out who are the owners. Speak to the owners first and see if they'd be willing to donate it, because some people would be willing for the national good to donate. They want nothing for it. They might say, well, we donate it. Some people might say, well, okay, give me a look at something for it. If it valued at that, give me half the value. Give me quarter the value. Just give me something for it. In other cases, they may have to go to the extreme and go through the process of having the Governor General sign and gazette that they're going and take the piece of land. That's in some instances, they may have to go through that. Right? But at least that's the right way to do it. Instead of you just take it and tell people, build. So it's a good one for all you on that one. It's a good one that all you're dealing with there. 440-7377. It says a lot about the mindset of this administration. That is not incompetence, you know. Yes, there's a level of incompetence there, but that is not incompetence. That is I don't care. I'm in charge and I could do what I want. That is what that is. That is a case of I don't care. I'm in charge, or you can't tell me nothing. I could do what I want. Yeah? While it may have gotten through with other people, it is definitely not getting through with this lot. Yeah? Again, 440-7377, 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to get on to the inside of tonight's program. Yeah, I this has to be some sort of craziness, man. According to the young ones, that'd be a prank. You can't. Or you could just go and take people's property like that. How can you think that is okay to just go and take people's property like that? Without the permission, you just start construction, they just pass in and see you building on property they know is theirs, Just see you building and all kind of thing. And then when you talk to them and you say, hey, what are you doing there? Yes, forget you, man. Just go ahead and build the thing. Yeah? That's the kind of thing that's taking place.
Please don't forget, I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear. I'm gonna get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation. Neither are you in to live up to mine.
I like that one. That's the right one for you. Learn to respect people's property.
No obligation. No one knows me.
Run Reddit again.
Fine.
Mr. Prime Minister, I know you're getting tired, boy. Oh, God. There's the one instance I'm feeling kind of sorry for the Prime Minister, but we didn't send you there. We didn't send and call you. You come. So.
I am that I am.
I don't know another cabinet that individual would have survived this long with all these kind of things happening one after the other. I don't know.
Serious business. There is a time for everything.
Yes, Marilyn, they find everybody fence low, but this person didn't give them a low fence. This person give them a high one. They can't jump this person fence.
So, I think it's prime time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get you confused. So relax your mind. Make sure everything is fine while I take you down.
And folks, we have quite a few activities coming up, as the new National Party has quite a few activities coming up. I'll keep you updated as to them. The meeting for St. Mark has been scheduled to Saturday, and then Guav is on Sunday. So there's one in St. Mark on Saturday, and then Guav is Sunday. So I'll give you more information. We've got a few days.
And deception is a powerful thing when you lose your rightful thinking. So we voted for the bling. But you trick us with campaign promises. We won't say it is. That's the way it is. We've waited.
Let me say a very special good night to Nurse Wendy Ann Maguire, the lady responsible. She and my good brother Nimrod. Both of them responsible. See them thing there? Them were responsible for that. So that was Nurse Wendy Ann idea, yeah?
Teeth get yellow, house get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow.
And those are the people responsible for that night.
Trick us with campaign promise.
So you know how to bust a tune for Nurse Wendy Ann in a time, yeah? When I taking a little break, I go play a little tune for Nurse Wendy Ann for she birthday. Wendy, oi! Where the girl? I hope you're out having a nice little drink or eating an ice cream or something. Nurse, your birthday, you're there listening to Talking Points, Lord.
Great. But what?
Nurse, there we.
Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But
folks, I was listening to a program today on the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Very interesting, yeah? Very, very interesting. And I heard a statement being made by the by the president, the president of the Public Workers Union. And I want you all to hear that statement that's being made by the president of the Public Workers Union.
And my research has told me, and I want to go on a record as saying this, my research has told me that the government is strongly considering the statutorization or the privatization of healthcare. This is what, this is what my understanding is. They can come and deny or whatever they say or admit, whichever one. But this is, and I am likened to believe this because when you regularize, and I want you to understand, and I want the general public to understand where I'm coming from. When you regularize workers, immediately they become entitled to pension and these sort of benefits. Now, if you want to privatize or reorganize an organization based on the Constitution of Grenada under Section 84(8), you tell them, okay, well, you have to go over, we go into private now. You have to immediately pay that person as though they're pensionable, regardless of the age or whatever it is. So we see the year of healthcare, basically no nurses have been regularized. They keep going. It's in crisis. What is really the genesis or the cause of this? Right? So if you have an organization, if you have a sector in crisis, would you not, GT, put emphasis on cleaning it up?
I would agree.
Right?
You fix it before you do anything else.
So we continue to see the drawbacks there. And myself, as the current president of the union, I don't want to play games with those workers that we represent. I don't want to give them any false expectations. I will tell you, our organization, in terms of advocacy for these workers at the table, we have provided names. I'll tell you what, from the president of the Nurses Association, myself, the only thing that union representatives have not done when we speak to government officials is cry tears. Or go down on our knees in those settings. We have done all possible to demonstrate, and the general public understands the importance of regularization and just putting emphasis on healthcare, but we have not had any response. So I would like for the government of Grenada to come through and state exactly what is their intention. Is it privatization or statutorization, which would have a negative effect? That's a form of union busting, right, on the union. That's one. And two, it can potentially make healthcare more expensive for the regular man on the street or the regular woman on the street, because access to healthcare, people can go to the hospital and get free treatment. If you privatize, automatically it becomes more expensive. So this is where we are. I just want to tell the health sector workers, yes, we are advocating for your regularization and so forth, but we are meeting hurdles, and we want transparency in terms of why we are meeting hurdles at this point in time.
So yes, folks, you've heard from the president of the Public Workers Union. He is alleging that the government, and he's challenging them to come out and respond to what he's saying, because obviously his constituents are the people working in the ministries where such plans would be made. So if it is being done, if it's being spoken about in a ministry, if plans are being made to do that, the Public Workers Union president would get good information, Is a man you have to listen to when he's saying them thing. So he's saying that what he is picking up is that the government is aiming to statutorize healthcare. In other words, they're going to privatize the hospital. You may get somebody from outside of Grenada, most likely, you don't know which country. That individual, will be able to take over our general hospital, plus the teaching hospital that they say they're going and build, plus Maribo, etc., etc., etc. It means where we may have been able now to go there and get various services free of cost or nearly free, at that stage, you're going to have to find your money and wave it like a flag when you're going to any healthcare facility. Because remember, you're also speaking of the clinics falling under that. You're speaking about the general hospital and the facility in Guelph, all of these things falling under that. So it would no longer be directly government control, but you're either speaking statutorization, where you create a statutory body, and you heard what happened with the fees under physical planning, which they have made a statutory body. You heard what the fees under physical planning are. I went over some of them last week for you. From 0 to 500 and from 100 to 1,000 something and so on. That's how the fees went up under physical planning. They ain't talking about that. They ain't saying that, They ain't answering what's taking place with physical planning. Right? One of these nights we're going to show you the full thing with all the fees and so. Right? But if they do that in healthcare, that is what is going to happen. It's going to make healthcare expensive, even more expensive than it is now, because whereas there are some basic services that we will receive free, there are some basic services that we get at our healthcare facilities. If they statutorize it, you have to walk with your money like a flag, according to my good friend Andre Donald. You have to walk with your money waving like a flag when you come in. Because you will not be able to utilize or have treatment at those facilities unless you have your money. Because they're going to be running it as a business to bring in the most profit possible. Yeah? So yes, there's a possibility that the quality might increase and that kind of thing. Yeah, there's a possibility. But it's also more of a likelihood. And it's nearly a certainty that you're going to end up having to pay more money. So, we already see the statutorize the Ministry of Sports. Because it seems as though that's the direction this government is going. Instead of having government ministries carrying out various portfolios and so, this government is statutorizing the public service. So you saw the Ministry of Sports being statutorized over the past month. They statutorized the Ministry of Sports. So now, where the Ministry of Sports used to be in charge of the playing fields and all of these things, now it's under the National Sports Council, which we still don't know who the members of the National Sports Council are. We don't even know if they are parish sports councils active, legally put together and active, much less a National Sports Council legally put together and active. But they have statutorized the Ministry of Sports. Years ago, under another NDC government, they statutorized the Ministry of Culture. When they created the Grenada Cultural Foundation, they basically took most of what the Ministry of Culture would be doing and they placed it under the Grenada Cultural Foundation and the Spice Mass Corporation. Before, a lot of the things that they carried out would be done by the Ministry of Culture. But they created that statutory body. Now, you see, they continue because they've statutorized the Ministry of Sport. They've taken all what the Ministry of Sport usually does and placed it under a statutory body where you could hire people and pay them more money than you was paying them in government and thing too. Understand? They could hire friends and place them in the sports council and in physical planning and thing. No, they could hire their friends and so that's outside of the public service. And the other thing that Mr. Grimes said there that you need to pay a particular attention to, he's saying that there is a problem when it comes to the regularization of nurses and other healthcare professionals. I'll play that one for you in a while. He was speaking about that this morning, that there is a problem. They're not seeing it. This is supposed to be the year, according to what government announced last year. The focus of the Deacon Mitchell administration for 2023 was supposed to be healthcare. This was supposed to be the year that healthcare was on the up. But the only up, it was up in the wrong areas. It was up in the lack of medication, up in the amount of nurses going, up in the fact that various people in the Ministry of Health are not being paid on time or at all. You have those situations taking place. So when you heard Mr. Grimes speak there, he said something that you have to pay particular attention to when it comes to them statutorizing all these bodies and departments of government. Basically, shifting the responsibilities out from central government and placing them under these little organizations that they could stick their sister and they could stick their brother and they could stick their friend and their financiers, and all of them could be stuck inside there, either on the board of directors or as the CEO or in various other high-paying jobs within those entities. So when you hear they say they're going to take all the Imani trainees and place them under the NTA, they're going to statutarize the Imani as well. That's what they're doing, They're taking out responsibility from central government for the Imani and place them under the NTA. Not me say they're doing that, They said they're going to take out the Imani and place them under the NTA. But the dangerous part of this is that when you do that, when you basically dissolve a department, like for instance, you say you're no longer going to have a Ministry of Health as it is, and you have dissolved the various positions, because if you statutarize and you transfer all of this into a statutory or private entity, then the people who are still within that system, according to the Constitution of Grenada, you have to treat them in a particular way. You can't just tell them they're going and work with another institution, You have to do like these people retire and pay them off for their years of service. You have to basically give them damages. And we know in the healthcare sector, we're not speaking about 12 people. We're not speaking about 20. You're speaking literally about hundreds of people. So Mr. Grimes is saying that the reason the Deacon Mitchell administration is not regularizing, not taking people, not taking nurses and other people off of contract within the Ministry of Health is because they intend to create a statutory body and then send all these people over to that statutory body. But if they're on contract, they do not have the liability of having to treat these people as having retired, because they might be 30-something years old, 40-something years old. They have to treat you as you're retired, and they have to pay you off. They have to pay you off. So we don't know, according to what Mr. Grimes is saying, that we could very well end up with some other country owning our hospitals and our healthcare system here in Grenada. Because you're going to hear that the teaching hospital, and you've already heard that, is going to be a public-private partnership, so it's not going to be a full government of Grenada initiative. They're going to partner with other entities to do that. So we have to ask ourselves if Mr. Grimes is correct. Let's take this caller. Hello, good night.
Good night, and how are you?
Yeah, I'm quite fine. Yes.
Yeah, listening to what you just saying concerning the privatization of us and statutorizing.
Not me, what Mr. Grimes saying? Let me get clear.
I heard him, yeah. Well, these people just want to do all in their power to avoid responsibility. Because when they do such, that means the responsibility is not theirs again, That is why they're so reluctant on funding and furnishing the hospital with medication and the other out clinics, because they have up in their head what they want to do. So that responsibility is not theirs anymore. So why they came into office? Why they set up themselves? They did not know that these things are going to happen. That is their responsibility. And especially with healthcare, and all of them are clamoring about better healthcare. And now they have the responsibility now to fix it, to do something about it, so that everybody could enjoy it. Because it's not everybody that will have money. What about the poor and vulnerable? They don't have the money to go to a private clinic, a private hospital. Huh? And they still don't put back the 150 on the money. But they could get to buy some medication, especially the blood pressure tablets and the blood sugar tablets. My goodness. Okay then, thanks.
All right, my dear.
Good night.
440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to get onto the inside. Not me saying. Mr. Grimes that say. Yeah, and he would know better than me, because the workers within every one of those ministries, be it healthcare, be it the Ministry of Finance, be it the Prime Minister's ministry, wherever, those workers are members of the Public Workers Union. So he would hear from them, and he would know from them whether or not what he's saying has any serious likelihood to it, and he's challenging the government to come forward. We go play it again in a time, We have a call online. Good night. Hello? Caller?
Hi, good night.
Hi, good night, caller. Go right ahead. You're
How
live.
are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, just lower the volume.
I'm just calling to say hi to a good friend of mine, and today's her birthday. So I'm saying happy birthday to Wendy.
Of
Wendy
course.
Maguire, what you there tonight? I'm senior.
She under the live, quarreling with people.
Yeah?
Wendy under the
I
live,
hope
quarreling
she's
with people.
somewhere. I hope she's not listening and she was somewhere chilling out.
She's there, man. She's there.
Okay, bye.
All right, my dear. Wendy, you could listen to the program after, you know. All right, Wendy. You know, I was. Let me see if I could find this particular one. In fact, yeah. Let me pull this one here still, and because I've said it before here, and some people may find that Sheldon was just saying thing. Yeah, some people may find that Sheldon was just saying thing. But when I said that public workers in the Ministry of Health are not being paid and not being paid on time.
What are some of the issues that you would really like to discuss with the minister, just in case that meeting, of course, gets to happen?
The issues, we don't just want to complain. We want to know from the minister, what do you want from us? What would make your job easier? And you can only learn these things through social dialogue, right? We have the health sector is a very troubled sector. So, for example, within that sector, you have a lot of people receiving their salaries late. For whatever reason. I don't know if it's related to the bi-monthly and the administrative aspects of that, but health has that issue. You know, the issue of the same regularization. What are your intentions? Why haven't any nurses been regularized? While we can talk about our friends in the teaching fraternity, which we are so happy for, getting hundreds regularized and so forth. We're happy for them, and we would want to see something similar within the health sector. So we want to ask all these questions, but it's not GT about making demands per se. It's about, hey, what can we do to help you? How can we help you to be a better leader within the sector? And for
what can I feed you, and when you feed me, what's going to work? For us to come to that common understanding and work collaboratively for the development of the sector and the country. Yeah?
Yeah, and I'm sorry for those of you that I didn't switch out. Yeah. So for those of you who didn't hear what I was just speaking about, I'm saying they can't say it's me that said it. It's the president of the Public Workers Union that said it. They cannot say it's me. Yeah? I've been saying over the months that there have been problems paying people within the healthcare sector. Doctors are having problems. Doctors, are having problems receiving their salaries. Nurses are having problems receiving their salaries. The nurses were given an honorarium and were told that it would not be taxed. Well, joke they making. First one they get to know, it get taxed. So it is not a situation where these people are working at their optimal capability because they feel abused. They're not getting their salary on time. And Mr. Grimes say, you don't know if it has anything to do with the bi-monthly or whatever it is, but these people are not receiving their salaries on time. And then on top of that, and let me just take this call before I go to that particular one. Hello, good night.
Ellen Scott, good night.
Good night, Cammy.
And good night to Patricia and Matthew. Mr. Watt, my Jamaican friends in England and them in America, good night. Sheldon, I'm listening to what you're saying there now over the years. What Mr. Grimes say in the health department, what's going on. Sheldon, we didn't see nothing yet. You know, I close to me grave, eh? But you know, I kind of enjoying that right now. For some of us Grenadians, let we feel the weight according to the Maurice Bishop region, the weight of the revolt. It's good. No sympathy. I have no sympathy for nobody because I'm suffering. Look how much years I'm suffering in my leg. I'm so sorry for these people. All you had Dr. Mitchell, the NNC government, and they wasn't doing that to us. Deacon Mitchell are good for all you. All you want how they call him? Baby Jesus. Deacon Mitchell, all you get what you want. So I just sorry. All you could pass tomorrow and say what you want. All you could write all comments. We had it nice under the NNP. So if Deacon and them want to bring in people or whatever, let it for some of your NDC supporters and some of your NNP supporters that vote for them. I'm so sorry. And yet to be grave, I'm so sorry because we too bad mind. Everything's about a kick, Michelle. Take what all you get. Now. And the good thing all you Deacon Mitchell want no office for you to go and sit down and tell him nothing. Because he don't want to see all you, he don't want to hear all you. He's a good man all you get. That was good for all you because you too bad mind. You never take the hand that feed you. And you must call Kit Claudius Mitchell Dave in Grenada. Because on that kit, we didn't have that problem. We didn't have stress. We could have still go up there and get to Bizai. If you don't have money, the nurse would have put two piece of paper and tell you, take that still. When you get money, you will go and buy in the pharmacy. It's damn good. I have no apology. It's damn good. And all who have the money, they go take a plane and they go fly like him. And they go in Barbados, they go in Trinidad, they go in America, Canada, and England to see a doctor. I can't go and I go there. I ban me bed. It's damn good for some of y'all. Because you're too greedy and bad mind. It's good for y'all. Good night, Sheldon.
All right. 4407377. That's 4407377. That is the number for you to call and get onto the inside. And you could give your view in relation to this particular issue. Yeah, I want to hear what you all have to say in relation to this one. Because, statutorizing our healthcare system, and immediately what you're going to be doing is that all the people who are under, let me just clear. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. For those of you that was trying to call the lines, I had them engaged. All the people, who are presently employed under the system, these people will have a big, big problem. Well, not so much a problem, but they would have to receive a payment and then they don't necessarily even have to send them to work. They have to treat them as though they're retired. So they have to get all their benefits immediately. I mean, some of them might like that. They might say, I'm getting all my benefits now. Some of them might like it. Yeah? But then you're unemployed. So we have to look at this particular one. Mr. Grimes has called out the government on this one, and he has asked them to prove him wrong. Prove him that what he's saying is that what he's hearing is not right. That's what he wants to know. He wants to hear them say that what he has been hearing is not right. And then there's the issue of access to the minister, because it seems as though the Public Workers Union has no access to the minister. Now, under the New National Party, there was always the back and forth between ministers, and the Public Workers Union. Not just them, but the Grenada Union of Teachers. Recently, you heard the president of the Teachers Union saying that there's no dialogue between the present minister and the union. But at least the former minister, give him that, he said it, under the former minister, there was dialogue. If she was planning to do something, the government was planning to do something, she would call them in and treat them as a stakeholder so that the Grenada Union of Teachers would know what is happening, what may happen in the future, whether they want to go against it or they agree with it or whatever. Sometimes they may not agree with it in the form that it was put forward, but at least they had the opportunity to say, hey, make that change or make this change. But at now, they can't talk. And now we hear, and I'm hearing Mr. Grimes here speaking about, let me pull that one up now, speaking here about if they could meet the minister. Let's hear what you had to say. GB and Tang call you, eh? Nice, thanks, yeah.
From you. Tell me, has the union has had a chance to meet with the Minister of Health yet?
The Minister of Health, my good friend, my good friend, Minister Jonathan Lacrette. If I happen to bounce him up, our interactions, he's always busy running. It's very cordial, very respectful. But sadly, the union has not gotten that opportunity to sit with Minister Lacrette for the whole year and a half he has been the minister. And recently we had a protest action for community mental health workers. Hats off to the workers, but also to the ministry, the PS, Ms. Jeremiah, even Minister Lacrette, just the Ministry of Health in terms of resolving that particular issue. But even before that, we seek an audience with the minister. We did not get the opportunity. During that period, we seeked an audience, and to this day, we have not had that sit-down with Minister Lacrette.
What were some of the reasons stated for not being available for us?
The reason stated that we heard it from the PS is that the minister is the policy maker, and the administrative aspects, the PS handle that, so they can speak on administrative issues. So we have to take that. It's unusual because the truth is the union is an important stakeholder in this country. Pre-election, the union was viewed as an important stakeholder because we represent a bargaining unit that has to go to the polls and make decisions based on the policy, the intended policy of a potential government. And so when you're in there, it is important that you sit and speak, because the issues of the past may not be the issues of the present, and we as union leaders, we speak for hundreds of thousands of workers. So I would think respectfully that any minister, if the union calls upon them, would come and listen to what a union leader has to say, not because it's Brian Grimes, because I am just the current holder of the post, but the principle of sitting with whoever is the executive or the president is critically important. So I think a minister would recognize it, but everyone has a different way of doing things. Let us see if that brings success or failure going forward.
So the minister doesn't think it's important, because what Mr. Grimes is saying, since this individual was sworn in, was that early July, late June last year, that they have never met with the union. Lako too busy. I don't know what he's so busy doing, because nothing taking place positively in healthcare. Things are happening in healthcare in spite of and not because of Minister Lacrette. He needs to go. Mr. Prime Minister, you need to fire some of your ministers. I ain't saying even transfer them, because you're taking competence from one place and you place it in the next place. You're just creating more problems in another ministry. Minister Lacrette needs to go. No if, what, or but about it. How are you telling me that the person that sits in cabinet, that sits in the executive of the National Democratic Congress, who therefore understands the perceptions of the various members who has the authority of cabinet to carry out various things in relation to the ministry refuses to meet with the union. So who is going to give the government's perspective? The PS could say what they want. The PS is not the minister. The PS does not sit in cabinet. The PS is not aware of all the discussions that are taking place in cabinet. They are aware of some of the discussions according to the cabinet conclusions that go back to the PS or the cabinet submissions that they send up. But the minister is the one who is supposed to be on top of everything within the ministry. So he is supposed to know what is going on. He is supposed to be able to speak with the unions, give them some insight from cabinet that the PS can't give. Well, best you just make Ms. Jeremiah the minister and done. Where's the sense you're paying this guy nearly $9,000 a month for then? Get rid of him. Get rid of him. He need to go. A waste of time. The worst minister of health we have ever had in the history of Grenada. It's time for him to go. No if, what, or but about it. Time to go before he damaged the Ministry of Health more. Time to go. Leave. And in fact, if he's a decent person, he would do the decent thing and resign and go. He wouldn't wait to be fired. Because he knows he's a failure. I think that will be talking about statutorizing Ministry of Health. I think that will be talking about that. They need to be talking about statutorizing Ministry of Health because they know that the leadership there, speaking of on the political level, is incompetent. The PS does not sit in cabinet. The PS is unaware of some of the thoughts and decisions that are taking place in cabinet. The PS cannot speak on behalf of the government. As in the NDC government, they can speak on behalf of the ministry, but they cannot speak on behalf of the government. So for him to be saying no, and for them to be giving the excuse that the PS says, no. That is absolute nonsense, and you realize that is part of a trend. That is part of a trend when it comes to the NDC. That apparently their various ministers just decide that they don't have to talk with, they need to talk with nobody. They could just say what they want and they could go ahead, they're ministers, and so they don't need to be interacting with the union. Let me play our next one for you all here. Just, you all remember this one? Yeah, it's a bit long. Let me see. Yeah.
And I would just want to put on record my all deepest disappointment with the Ministry of Education. I just want to compare it with the previous administration. You can say one thing about the ministry, the past minister, Honorable Eminent Pierre. One thing with her. She met with the Grenada Union of Teachers on a regular basis, on a monthly basis. Even if we had to call an emergency meeting, that she will call the meeting, we'll discuss. Before the reopening of school, she will call a meeting. We may not see eye to eye in agreement with everything, but she met with us and such. And that is what is lacking. And our biggest disappointment and such, we are a bit saddened by that, because we really do respect the new administration. We really do respect and appreciate the Minister for Education and persons, but what is lacking there is that since the GUT had its elections, once we have ever met, and that's with the previous administration, our new elected bodies, we wrote the Ministry of Education and the minister and everybody several times. And I think the last engagement we have subject to correction was either October or December. That's the last time the GUT got an engagement with the Ministry of Education or the minister. It is not right, and that's why we must have all those sort of confusion and chaos and misunderstanding, misconceptions when we such, and the way that we can deal with it is probably coming on the air saying something. It is not right at all, and I'm very, very disappointed, and I think the GUT is disappointed because we wrote the Minister for Education, we wrote the Ministry of Education. The first letter we wrote to them was to introduce them to our new officers, elected officers. When you have elections, the GUT, all right, it is customary that the Ministry of Education, these are the people that they will be working with, negotiating with, putting together plans and events. And we never had an engagement since April. We wrote back another letter again. We keep calling and everything, and that never happened. And I could say we are disappointed. We are really, 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 really disappointed. So we don't know the plans of the Ministry of Education for this year's school year as yet. I mean, they may have sent it to principals, they may have sent it to other persons in school, but they have not really sat down with the Grenada Union of Teachers and discuss events and plans for the year and see if we can trash out differences and all those things. So we're not bashing them, but what we want to see, we want to have a good relationship, an excellent relationship. We may not see eye to eye in everything. We may not agree on everything. We know that there will be differences in any organization, in every institution. But we are calling on the Ministry of Education to do better than that and to dialogue with us, to meet with us. Let us plan, let us trash out our differences, hear the grievances, the cries of the teachers, the issues, and let us commend you and appreciate you for the good works that you have been doing so far with the pension, with paying some of the benefits to our members and to those things. Yes, we deal with that and we balance the equation. But we put in a record here, our biggest disappointment, only one engagement we had from since the new administration came into power and such, and one meeting we had with the Ministry of Education as a union, and that is not good enough. And that didn't also happen with the previous Minister for Education. Right. She met all the time.
So it seems as though this is a particular mindset of the existing cabinet. So with education, in the Ministry of Education, the minister doesn't find it is necessary to speak with and dialogue with the trade union. Maybe they feel that they had Jude in their pocket. I believe they have him in their pocket. Yeah, I believe he in their pocket. So maybe they believe that he in their pocket. I just call him Judas because I just believe he sell all the teachers. But anyhow, so maybe they believe they could just do what they want and Jude go just fall in line. But remember, Jude is representing constituents. He's not representing just Jude Bartholomew. He has constituents. So even though he may have his own perception, his own mindset in relation to an issue, when teachers start to phone him, and teachers start to call him, and teachers start to block him and tell him all over the place, he has to raise the issues. Because look what happened earlier this year. They just took all the children and they sent them into secondary school. Send all of them, just straight, secondary school. They didn't discuss it with the Grenada Union of Teachers. There was no discussion in relation to that. The first time they know that is when it happened, when government just announced that is what they're doing. There was no set a discussion. So I realize it's not just Mr. Grimes complaining about minister don't want to meet. It's Mr. Jude Bartholomew, I will call him proper this time. Mr. Jude Bartholomew has been complaining since earlier this year in relation to the same thing because there's this mindset within the NDC that we can do what we want to do and we don't have to ask you. You go hear about it eventually. We don't have to ask you. So if we want to build on your property, we go build on your property. And we're not going through the Ministry of Legal Affairs and the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture and Lands to find out who own it and then to go through the legal process of land acquisition, publication in the Gazette, etc. No, I am Mr. Minister. And as such, I just taking that land. And if you're vexed with it, that is your face. But let's deal with the right person. So they fence it. It's a mindset within this cabinet. You're seeing it manifested when people telling you who they are. Don't try to deny it. They're telling you who they are. They're showing you who they are. So the teachers union having a problem. The minister don't want to meet with them problems. I don't know if he start to meet with them now after they talk about it. But that shows a particular mindset within the cabinet that they don't think is important to meet with the people directly involved with a particular area. So all know the Minister of Education, he head big because Mr. Prime Minister, before you fire yourself, which you need to do, you need to fire the Minister of Education too. Because believe me, the time is soon coming when the Grenadian people go fire all you. It coming. Every day is a day closer. Every time the sunset is 24 hours closer to when the Grenadian people have the opportunity to fire all you. Because you will be fired. Oh, Donald Trump used to say it on the program. You're fired. You definitely will be fired. Time coming. So you have a Minister of Health, and you as a Prime Minister, you cannot talk to your Minister of Health and say, well, look, it's important to speak with the union. Because there may be various issues that the union can bring to your attention as a minister. So that when you come up to the cabinet room and you sit there and we are discussing things, even for budget preparation, etc., you can say, listen, I've heard from the members, I've heard from the union, I've heard from the different people there that this is something that we should consider. Or that you're about to do something and the union would say, that is a waste of time. You're putting money into that, but that is a waste of time. What you're doing there is you're spinning top in mud. It is better to do this. Instead of doing that, you're just ducking, meeting come on, a year and 6 months going. And up to now, the minister still in meet with the union? Come on, man, something definitely had to be wrong. 44073, and as I said that, somebody called. We have a call online. Good night. Hello, good night. Yes, sir.
Bill it now, man. The owner gonna agree later. That's them guys' mentality. Remember the guy in the south say that, do it quick, and they go argue later, they go buy into it later, So they bill it now, and the owner go argue later, the owner will give them permission later. Well,
this owner put up a plan and he put up his sign. Door cross the border.
I see it. It just shows the inexperience of those guys, youthful arrogance in motion there, man. That's those guys and them there, They just feel that they could do what they want and they don't have to answer to nobody. These guys don't realize that they have to admit they're not above the law. They're not above the law. They need to go sit down and watch that movie. Remember with what's the guy name again? The boy Above the Law. Oh my God.
Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal.
Yeah, Steven Seagal. Yeah, the whole cabinet is sit down and watch that movie.
Now,
bring them back down to earth.
There's a movie older than that. If you watch a lot of movies, there's a movie older than that with Robert De Niro. It's called The Gang That Can't Shoot Straight.
Nah, I know that one.
Look for that one. The Gang That Can't Shoot Straight. The Gang That Can't Shoot Straight.
They have two movies to sit down and watch that. You can watch one at 8 p.m. and one at 10 p.m. if they stay up. Yeah, on a Sunday.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much for your call.
All right, Sheldon. Take care, man. All
blessings. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get onto the inside. So, Mr. Grimes, he can't meet with the union, telling them it's important that, and I believe that he's correct. I think that it is very important because here he end statement on that. Mr. Grimes was saying, well, we go see how that work out. In other words, don't meet with us. You're going to see how that work out when the time come. You're going to see how that work out. Yeah? So there are several issues that are confronting workers in our country. And some of these same union leaders are the ones going and stand up on the platform and Mayday and make me, Paul, look at me, they're going to make me the topic of discussion. Meanwhile, they ain't talking about the fact that the minister ain't meeting with them. They ain't talking about the fact that their constituents, the workers who pay in their dues, well, they can't even pay their dues because they don't get pay. They ain't talking about that. No, go and talk about me. Go and spend the time and talk about Sheldon Scott. Yeah? Show talk for me. I'll always warn you the same way I'll warn Finley Jeffrey the scholar. You could put my name in a song because your song ain't go last past Carnival. I had 365 days to talk about you on this platform. Interfere with me. Yeah? Interfere with me. Does feel somebody afraid them or something? Interfere. May Day is one day. We'll get to talk that day. Might make news the next day. Every single week, if I want, I could interfere with you. Juka button. 4407377. 4407377. No, it's very, very interesting. Yeah? To hear what is taking place. I listened to Mr. Grimes this morning, like, what? Statutorize? But then when you look again, you realize under the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, you realize culture already basically statutorized. They just statutorize sports. You know they're about to statutorize youth. So now healthcare. So you statutorize there. Yeah? We have a call online. Good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, sir.
How are you?
I'm always good, you know.
It seems as though you're in a good mood. Tell me something. I want to ask you a question. I'll tell you a couple things. If you have a piece of land, right, and you want to fence it around, do you have to get permission from the physical planning to do so?
According to what it is you're doing, yes, you do need to get permission from physical planning. I believe so, yeah.
How long that's starting?
No, I think if you're going to do any kind of
I don't talk about construction. Well, yes, let put construction in
like a wall. If you're doing a wall, yes, you need physical planning.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, you're supposed to use physical planning if you're doing a wall, yeah.
I know a lot of places. I see they put wall, they bring the place and never see people come by them or they talk about that period. So I'm just trying to tell you that. Because I do see a man having property and you want to you want to enclose it. That you have to get permission to enclose it. You have to get permission to buy. You have to get permission to build, and you still have to get permission to enclose it. First time I ever heard that.
Well, you know, we go. I don't want to go too in depth into what somebody think. No, hold on. I know because some of the things with physical planning. But I mean, I could get the expert to talk to me and find out, you know. Yeah. But I want to go deeper into physical planning during this week. I'm going to go deeper into it, you know. I just give only one or two of the fees and then we see something. All right.
Good.
We see some
the
kind
next
of thing
point I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you was talking since last week. I pay attention to you. And I was trying to get onto the program, but I didn't get on. There was a meeting somewhere in Mount Richard Hermitage.
Yeah,
did you get that on?
That meeting was on Saturday, but I realized it was being broadcast late, so I couldn't carry it. Yeah, late o'clock, not 8 o'clock, but late o'clock I realized it was being carried. So I didn't get a chance to broadcast that one.
But the reason why I ask you that is that I listened it later because I got it that time late. But I was listening to other program and I never hear anybody talk about it. And I know a lot of people usually talk about, certain things, but I didn't hear him mention about that. So I was just wondering if probably because he wasn't on your line, that is the reason why they didn't talk about it. You're laughing. The last point I want to make, I want you to see if you could answer my question. Is the Prime Minister back in Grenada?
I am unaware.
He's spread dry, he's Mr. Spread Dry. But what I'm saying, I hear they talking about a set of money, people calling from abroad and talking about they borrow money to have a year celebration. You have a poor country, hungry people like myself, and you're having celebration. People going abroad, all in Grenada, you're spending money upside down. Listen to me. You see the junction, I hear you was speaking recently about a place where they sell books and so on, somewhere on Scott Street and Young Street. You know the junction there where they usually have the street light?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I figure some of this money that they borrowed, $100-something million, they should try to fix the road right there because you're having a lot of problem with vehicles. Coming there, the road isn't in good for good as other places. The next one is that there is a place by the market, not where they break down the town hall, coming down the tops and coming down. There is a wall there that is broken. People selling and all things like that. That want to fix too. Why didn't take some of this money and try to fix this wall, even though it was there before this administration? You see how money spending bad, and you have a lot of things to be done. Right down by the Grenada Security Services there. There is a place there that is broken. I think that almost ending up going by Bailey Funeral Home on the back side there.
Yeah, I realized the land collapsed there.
Cones there, red cones. Right by the Ministry of Legal Affairs too, I think, something like that.
Well, it's just close to my
Grenada Security Services.
Yeah.
Why they didn't fix that? That is over a month now. What happened?
They said that would be fixed within a week. Well,
which week?
No, that's the thing.
More than a month now.
They didn't tell you which week.
And vehicles you passing, then you have to see trouble to pass. Especially how the people are parking on the side.
They didn't tell you which week they're talking about. They say within a week, but they didn't say which one of the week they're talking about.
Around the week next year's time, so.
They didn't say if it's the 52nd week or the 32nd week or the first week.
All this bad money they borrowing, all this bad money they spending, they should fix in these 3 places. And as a matter of fact, they should be cleaning the whole St. George's Town so that people have to have animals going and feed there. That is my small input I have to make for you tonight.
All right, great. Thank you.
Take care of yourself.
All right.
Good man.
440-7377. That's 440-7377. And 347-329-3101. You can also call us on the WhatsApp on 440-7377. We have a caller on the WhatsApp. Hello, good night. Hello.
Mr. Scott.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You're very low. Hold on, You're very low. You need to speak up a bit into the...
I wonder why. Anyway.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying that why it is I listened to a couple news conference from CARICOM ministers who came from the Saudi trip, and I wanted to know if our Prime Minister in Grenada.
I didn't hear what you said.
I'm trying to find out if our Prime Minister is in Grenada.
Yeah, well,
right now.
That's a good question because I don't know the answer. I had to try and find out myself.
I was listening Dr. Kit Rowley and a couple other ministers from the Caribbean been having news conference and telling the nation what it is they went and what they accomplished. I know we don't have this kind of privilege here in Grenada. But something I wanted to check on. I was listening to the speech from the Prime Minister in St. Lucia, and he gave a history of the failures of the NDC party from 2008 about infighting, and after they couldn't have parliament, they had to prorogue parliament and all these kind of things. Now, I wanted to find out what he really was trying to say. Is he saying that to keep unity in his cabinet, he would allow the ministers to do anything and everything? Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's saying that. Because if that's the road he's going down, he's going down a real dangerous road here. The ministers are saying that the ministers, he will have to allow them to have the ways just to maintain unity. I don't understand this kind of thinking. And I want people to keep the ears open and the eyes open on the ground. I wonder how come NDC operatives are having government money and dishing it out to certain people in the community. I wonder how this thing taking place in Grenada. Right now, Mr. Scott, I want you to keep your ears open and your eyes open. Get your information. I don't want to call them, but there are people in the different constituencies have government money in the pocket and in the bag, going wrong and telling them, I want you to do this for me and I will pay you. From the pocket. I know government ministries, the Ministry of Finance are supposed to handle all government financing. I don't understand what's going on in this country.
Well, unless they're using their own, unless they're using their own funds with the understanding that they will be repaid by government, which is still wrong.
Which is still wrong, even though it is so. Because I don't know, I seen this thing happening in different communities in Grenada, where operatives of the party are going on with money in the bag and money in the pocket and dishing it out. Well, to certain people, of course. And that's what I'm seeing going on. I want somebody to answer questions concerning that. Because I've never seen this thing here before. I know every time you do a little project, you have to go through the Ministry of Work. Ministry of Work make the claim and they send it down to finance, and you go in finance and collect your check. I don't know government operative, party operative could have money in the pocket and dishing it out to you just so. I don't understand what's going on. This thing is rampant in Grenada. I don't know if the opposition pick up that, but that is rampant. I want people to investigate that and see. No, it's happening. So I want to know what's going on with this Prime Minister. If you're going to have a news conference and tell us what happened in Saudi Arabia. Thank you. Good night.
All right, my brother. And what I can say is that I did see some stuff by the Prime Minister's office online showing him meeting with people and so on. Outside of that, I can't say really that we got a lot of details in relation to what took place I expect that probably because they did say that when they return, they would be holding a press conference to explain that, and the lie that they give us about the unemployment rate was 20-something%. So some fool trying to talk about that earlier. We've already dealt with that on this program and proven using 2 documents published by the NDC administration that they're lying. That unemployment at the time that the office changed from the NNP to the NDC was no way in the region at 28%. No way around there. Yeah? Even the previous year, it was around 16%. But I have something to tell you before the night done, eh? But waiting until the last minute to tell you that one. We have a call online. Good night.
Hey, good night, Sheldon.
Yeah, what go, brother?
Hey, just quiet.
All right, you go right ahead.
Sheldon, what the brother was talking about a while ago there is gospel.
No, I ain't saying no, you know. I never say no.
It is going on, and
Baga money?
It's going on in St. David. It's going on in other parishes. Even here in the tongue of St. George, we've seen it going on, you know. And it's strange. Everybody asking this strange question that, you know, how come it is being done like that? And the thing about it, the salaries or the payment for the job is being given as a bribe, because if the job, the payment for actually is $5,000 or $10,000, these people, some of them have been given bigger amount of money. And this thing is not really looking good, and I think it's something we should follow that money and get to the bottom of it, because yes, it is going on.
But remember,
have people on the ground that is going around offering people contracts and paying them.
Caller, remember what I said when the issue of this $7.5 million for independence came up? If you go back to my programs around then, I said that money is to be spent on the ground. That is money for them to go around, and they're going to come to people and they're going to try to bribe them. They're going to come and they're going to find the guys on the blocks. They're going to say, watch, we giving all you, they get one guy outside, they say, watch, we giving you a 4,000. Get how much guys and do that project, paint between here and there. But we giving you 4,000. How much you pay them guys and them is up to you. If you end up with a 2,000 in your hand, you spend a 2,000 on them, once it's done.
To me, we will have to change our word there, spend on the ground. It's being squandered on the ground.
Man.
It's like they're squandering money.
Well, while that is happening,
going out there, even it technically is a bribe, because they're squandering that money on the ground. They don't know a job is not costing that amount of money, and they are given a high price for that money, for that job. And the thing about it, Sheldon, that cake also is not sharing equally. It's certain people who are getting a chunk of that cake. That cake is not even getting crumbs from that cake.
Say it ain't so. That is what's going on.
Some people are not even getting the crumbs from that cake. Some people, the cake is being junken up and given to certain people.
Mm.
And if it's so, that I am telling you, they are spoiling the future of how things supposed to be done. They are spoiling the future, and they are even spoiling the youths who people want to go there and work genuinely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, this is something that we have to look into and bring it out to the light.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sheldon.
All right. Nah, the caller who called there, I know the voice, and I would not doubt when that caller tell me something. It's just the mechanism by which they do it. So is it that the government giving some people hard cash in their hand to go around and do this thing, or that these people have the hard cash using it with the understanding that they're going to present an invoice to government, or they've already presented an invoice and going to get their money back? But this thing about buying the block, I told all the guys what will happen. 7.5 million, you fall in a constituency, you see some fellas lying on the block, you pull out a $4,000, you tell one fella, you say, what, you get 3-4 other fellas, the bottom line, we want you to paint from here to there. You hold a $4,000. How much you pay them? If you pay them 150 each, that is up to you, and you hold the rest of the month, that is up to you. But all we know is that we want from here to there painted. That is what I told you all since August would happen. So now we're starting to hear that is exactly what's happening. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. Minister Lacrette. Let me call you that while I could still call you Minister Lacrette, because I realize like the Prime Minister kind of along the same trend as I'm thinking. You need to go, right? Yeah. So try and meet, at least save face now. Let me give you some advice. Free advice. Yes, I'm giving advice. Meet with the unions now. At least meet with them. All right? Yeah, because it's kind of disrespectful to them not to try to meet with them. You need to meet with them. All right? 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Now, let me ask a question here. Over the weekend, I was told, so I'm asking a question here. It's a fair comment because this is something that I believe people should be interested in. We do know that the MP for the south of the island has a loan around $2 million, is it? With the Grenada Development Bank. From the documents we have seen and the documents we have placed onto this program before that we got in a brown envelope in the road, it stated that one of the properties that were used to secure that loan, was a property located in Mount Parnassus, I believe it is. Yeah, Mount Parnassus. I'll get the document. I don't have it with me right now, but I'll pull it up. Over the weekend, I've been hearing, and if I'm wrong, may someone tell me that is so. I've been hearing over the weekend that property has been seized by another bank. All you understand what I'm saying here? The property that was used for security at the GDB, it seems as though that property was also used for security with a commercial bank on another loan. And from what I'm picking up, it seems as though that property has now been sold by the bank for non-payment or whatever. See, these things happen. But what I'm trying to understand, which is confusing to me, which is why I'm still kind of slightly skeptical while more leaning on the side that this is really true. How can the Grenada Development Bank take property that is already tied up with another financial institution as security for a $1 million loan, $2 million loan to cover what was there before, and to give how much money again on top of that? Because what I am hearing, which is why they would never like me, I see a lot. I might have to walk with headphones in my ears right through town these days. Yeah, I don't see a lot. I am hearing that that property that was being used as security in the GDB has now been sold by a commercial bank. Me don't know if it's a commercial bank or a credit union, I don't know. Maybe they find they ain't getting pay and they decide that they go in and sell, I don't know. But that is what I'm hearing. So maybe somebody could tell me if it's true. If it's not true that the property that was owned by Mr. Andy Williams in Mount Parnassus, that is stated as security against the loan that he was given by the Grenada Development Bank, has been sold by another financial institution. So maybe somebody could tell us if that is true or if that is not true. All right? Because I hear anything about tenants had to get put out and all kind of thing. So I hear, so I buy, so I sell. All right? So I'm just saying, this is what I've heard. But if that is so, if this is true, then it leaves some more questions. As in, how could anybody here, financial people, message me? How can the Grenada Development Bank use as security a property that is already being used as security by another financial institution? If it's true. Yeah? I tell you only what I hear over the weekend, and I say it here because what somebody tell me, well, it's true, it's not true. That kind of thing, because I find it difficult to understand. Because if the property was being used as security with the GDB but was already being held as security for another financial institution, then I want to know from the GDB, how did they allow themselves to give a loan on property that was already tied up with a... It's like you have your piece of land and you go to, let's say, Grenville Credit Union with it. Grenville Credit Union ain't go just take your land as security just so. They have to check first to make sure that that piece of land isn't being used as security by another credit union or by Republic Bank or by Cooperative Bank or by ACB. They have to look and see that that property doesn't have a lien against it in case of anything. Because if the other financial institution take it, then what you basically have is an unsecured loan. Let me say it again. What you basically have is an unsecured loan. And remember, we're speaking about an individual here. Yeah, we're speaking about another individual here who has roughly a month and a half to pay $500,000 at least to the government of Grenada. Or his good companion in the cabinet say he taking everything. But I don't know which house he could take in this instance or what he could take, because if the bank already take the house, I don't know what they take for the 500,000 or whatever. But you may have a sitting cabinet minister who very recently has acted on multiple occasions as prime minister who is in this situation. Because remember, they like to talk about who owe and who owe and who owe. Let's talk about who owe. Yeah? What about the tax obligations of the company that individual was in charge of? Have they been organized? What's going on? Because the end of the year is fast approaching. And we already hear Minister Cornwall say he don't making joke. Yeah, he's not making joke. He's seizing them house and them. What Minister Cornwall say?
Amnesty sometimes is good, but it's not the ultimate solution to the problems that we face in taxation. Okay, there are those of us who believe that we can always, fox the bill, put it that way, and not pay the tax. And then governments after governments have not moved ahead to basically enforce the law. For some of us who don't understand that, government can sell your property. Those properties that you probably say that you're going to hold it for your kids on the road because you're trying to avoid paying tax because you have kids, and many kids. Now, everybody who has kids has a responsibility to take care of his or her children. I have no problem with that. I also want to warn that those out there who are touting the idea that let us promote the Robin Hood policy or philosophy, by saying that you're taking from the rich, or the poor, sorry, to give to the rich, that you have to be very careful with that statement, because that adds to the fact that people are becoming more and more non-compliant. And I want to sound this warning. As Minister of Finance, if I ever had the opportunity after this amnesty is over, and there are people out there who has not taken advantage of this thing, I'd have no mercy into enforcing the law as it is and so on. I thank you for that statement, because that adds to the fact that people are becoming more and more non-compliant. And I want to sound this warning. As Minister of Finance, if I ever had the opportunity after this amnesty is over, and there are people out there who has not taken advantage of this thing, I'd have no mercy into enforcing the law as it is and so on. And I want to sound this warning. As Minister of Finance, if I ever had the opportunity after this amnesty is over, and there are people out there who has not taken advantage of this thing, I'd have no mercy into enforcing the law as it is and so on. I thank you.
Minister Cornwall, you might have to start in cabinet by. Minister Cornwall, you may have to start in your own cabinet. Yeah? You may have to start in your own cabinet. That is all I had to say on that one. But I'm asking the question again. I don't want to copy Auntie Jenny thing. I don't want to copy she thing and say, is it true? But I'll say here that I'll make a fair public comment based on statements I've heard from multiple people over the weekend. Because here there were tenants in said building that get kind of notice from, not from the former owner, and I have to say former owner, yeah. They got notice from the financial institution. Hey, all you gotta go. This place sell, all you gotta go. Yeah? I even hear that one of the tenants is a very close relative of a certain high official in Grenada. I ain't gonna go down that road. But it's is a relative of a very high official. My friends who know how to reach me go ask me in private. Yeah? But that's what I'm hearing, because as far as I know, that is not supposed to happen. If you're using something as security with one financial institution, you're not supposed to be able to use the same item as security with a second financial institution. It means as well that the second financial institution did not carry out their due diligence before issuing said loan. Because remember, the Grenada Development Bank, and you all may want to read some of the law in relation to that, and how they deal with lending and so on from the Grenada Development Bank. Yeah? When they are doing a loan, they have to find out if the individual has any liabilities to the state of Grenada. And here it is, we're speaking about an individual that had liabilities to the state of Grenada going back several years. Yet still, they were able to secure a loan under the GDB. And if what I'm hearing there is true, some heads need to roll, some people need to go home. Being straight up, some heads need to roll. Because you ain't speaking about a small amount of thing here. We're speaking close to $2 million, isn't it? Yeah? So we hearing things. So I'm just asking, making a fair comment as to this is what I'm hearing, that the property was sold by the financial institution, but there's a commercial bank or a credit union. I can't say. I do have documents and that nobody didn't put nothing in the road for me to bounce up on this time with that yet. But what I will say is that this is a serious situation, because this is a person that also acts as Prime Minister of the country. And if what we're hearing there is true, it says a lot about people like Mr. Tillman Thomas, that he would sit down there, hear these kind of things, see these kind of things, and once they are proven true, know these kind of things, and not make his voice heard in condemnation. It says a lot about all the old ones who used to be in NDC and all the new ones who are there now. It says a lot about the leadership or lack thereof of the present Prime Minister. that anything like that would be able to happen, and that he would not put his foot down and make a solid decision to save the face of his political organization and Grenada as a whole. Yeah, it would say a lot about him. But then again, we know all these guys interested in his power and money. We know that. Because you would have made sure that your company, Mr. Prime Minister, was removed. Go. Drag in who you had to drag in who don't leave audit already and ask them question. Put people sit down and say compile thing on Sheldon. Because you want to go in budget and call up your name. And you want to pass thing and put it in papers to attack me again. Yeah? Go ahead. Look in your cabinet. Look in your cabinet. Because I tell you for what's going on right now within your administration, your cabinet, and your political organization, you better go buy Farm and Garden and buy a lot of sticky trap. Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you in everything you say and do. Do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Love each and every one of you. My name's Sheldon Scott. We'll be back tomorrow night. Hopefully, everything will stay working properly, so we'll be able to join Real FM. Again, my apologies to the listeners via Real FM. Again, it is no fault of Real FM. We had a problem here where the computer updated. Microsoft have been sending out a lot of updates recently. The computer updated and it changed the settings on the computer so the software wouldn't work. We had to actually reinstall it while I was doing the program. The technical person was online reinstalling and everything so that we could get that section back up. But at that point in time, Real FM automatically would have gone back to their playlist and so that they weren't able to join us. So please, not Real FM fault. It is our fault inside here. All right? So that's all the time we have for tonight. And I'm going to leave you all with this one tonight. And then we're going back tomorrow night again. We had to discuss some of this tomorrow night again, and because the listeners via Real FM miss it. So don't be surprised we're discussing some of this tomorrow night again.
He's one of our fallen soldiers. May your soul rest in peace, my brother. Hey, but Paran will continue. Bye, boy. Hey, Sebi. I never knew Scala was a pastor. Pray for me in the Luxi Lima. But like he forget to remember to pray for himself in the Masgra. Last year the man said he retire. Said he gonna walk with cats and stunner. But he say he gets so old and riven. Now they calling him number 7. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. What's up around for us as a tribute to Toddlers? Yes, man. Hey, them fellas, they give him a lot of number 7. Hey, number 7 means money. Real. Hi, boy. Hey. Like that transformation have a course. Black folks start to ride on Granan's boss. But the one what really surprised me is when the black folks swim in DC. We tell them free eggs last election. Them folks seeking for compensation. A fella in Granan's jump and say, them fall and them searching for KJ. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. They say you boss in your boss. So boss a parang for us. Sing a parang for us. Boss a parang for us. What's up around for us as a tribute to Toddlers? Yes, man. Them for one compensation. Hey, hey. No more free egg.